Hello everyone and welcome back to the XRP and Cedar channel. As with you, always this is Rich doing another video today on XRP, so I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Wherever you are in this great world, we're going to talk about XRP, and I got to start with this from Xrpthe. Crypto wolf legendary trader Peter Brandt is considering buying Xrp despite dismissing it in the past. Prominent commodities trader Peter Brandt recently caused a stir within the investment community by announcing that he was intending to buy $100,000 worth of either Solana or Xrp. As soon as this week, he asked the community to help him pick the right coin while clarifying that he would not consider any other options. And of course, you had people shilling him Solana, other people shilling him Xrp. But all you gotta do is look at the Xrp chart. This is the most bullish chart in all of crypto. We are waiting for an explosive move upward, and if you consider holding Xrp longer term, the return on investment is going to be absolutely incredible. It has one of the best return on investments coming in all of crypto. It's going to be a major player in the new financial system. $7 trillion. Charles Schwab, CEO, says Bitcoin and crypto buying is coming for 37 million clients, institutions moving fast. Take a listen. 24/5. The activity we see in 24/5 tends to be retail investors, and there is a predominance of non-US clients. That's where we've seen the activity so far. So moving gears to Donald Trump, again, he has definitely vowed to be the crypto president, and we have already seen some moves to sort of roll back some of the harsher or tougher regulation on crypto. You have signaled your intentions to get bigger in crypto. Talk to me about what your latest, sort of crypto business looks like and where you see things going. We think we're the premier destination for investors interested in investing in crypto. We custody the most crypto ETF assets in the industry. We are working on a plan to launch spot crypto in the next 12 months, ideally this year, but in the next 12 months. We have lots of ways for clients to get invested in crypto. They can buy the ETFs, and again, we're the #1 destination for doing that. They can buy Bitcoin futures, they can buy closed-end funds, which track the price changes of crypto, so there's lots of ways to get invested, and we have education around that. And what we saw in the fourth quarter of last year, when there was a real uptick in interest in crypto, is we saw a 400% increase in the traffic to our crypto site. At Schwab, 70% of those people were prospects. And so what that says to me is that when clients become interested in crypto and they've learned more about it, the first place they want to turn is Schwab, because they trust us and they know we'll give them unbiased advice and that they can keep their assets safe. With us, education is key when it comes to crypto. If people learn what crypto is and how it can change things in the real world, they would be more likely to buy crypto and hold crypto in the institutions. They want to capture those customers. They want to be the ones out there shilling crypto to everyone outside of crypto, because we would never invest through Charles Schwab. We've been in this space too long. But new investors, they would be willing to go through Charles Schwab because it's a name that's been around for a long time, but they're going to bring a lot of clients into crypto over the next year. Ripple XRP, live on Fox News. And it's this right here. So you see Dems is trying to derail a groundbreaking crypto bill, and you see the Ripple logo right there. Usually this is the Bitcoin logo. That's why people are raving about this. But we're going to see the mainstream media news. They're not going to have any choice but to talk about Xrp in the not so distant future, especially when it's getting implemented into the banking system. New documents Xrp will dominate within ISO 222 compliant systems. So Smoke points out that successful messaging networks depend on standardization, rationalization, and reusability. Ripple's distributed ledger-based system, in addition to its cryptocurrency, Xrp delivers all of these. Xrp is going to be utilized inside of ISO messaging. XLM is going to be utilized. HBAR is going to be utilized, XDC, and so on. People keep downplaying ISO. Just wait until it goes live. I think we're going to get steady upward movement because of ISO. later this year, I think it's going to start slow, and then we're going to start to get those spikes upward as it's being utilized more and more within transactions. That's what I see coming. You don't have to use XRP in every transaction for it to matter. This comes from JD Nomax XRP. Ledger's design keeps XRP in the core functions where trust, liquidity, and speed count. Here's how auto bridging on the DEX, liquidity in AMM pools network, fees paid in XRP, trustless swaps between tokenized assets, counterparty free asset for global bridging, deep freeze, plus compliance without removing XRP utility. It's not just about visibility, it's about functionality. XRP is the grease in the machine. And I thought that was a great post because auto bridging is very important. That's how the normies will be using XRP and not even knowing it. People will be doing transactions and XRP will be in the background. But this is going to come quick when it happens. In other words, what I'm telling you is once one bank comes out of the testing phase and goes live with XRP, that's it. It's going to set off that network effect. And we're going to see the price of XRP skyrocket very fast. This is how early you are. And I thought this was a great post as well. Coming from Ed Arena, we are still early 560 million internet users in 2002, 560 million crypto users in 2025. We are early, but we are on the verge of being early, no longer being early. What I mean by that is once the institutions show up, that's it. You're no longer early for the first time in history. We beat the institutions to something like crypto, and we are going to get the best returns because of that. Because we got invested before they got here, they're going to open up this space like never before. They're going to lead us into mass adoption. Coinbase hit with a class action lawsuit over the data breach. They should have got hit with the class action lawsuit. Hopefully this cost them a fortune because they put people at risk because they wanted to save a couple dollars by outsourcing their support to overseas, and somebody leaked all of these names, all these addresses, all these people's information, and it put a lot of people at high risk. Now, hopefully Coinbase gets what they deserve. Crypto.com has rolled out XRP contracts for strike options. So Crypto.com, one of the leading crypto exchanges, has announced the launch of strike options for XRP. These are short-term trading products that make it possible for traders to predict whether a certain token will be able to exceed a certain price point. These are simple yes or no predictions, traders who manage to make a correct prediction based on the strike price. Get a payout. It is possible to exit a trade early if an asset trades in your favor before the contract actually expires, usually about 20 minutes. This is just gambling. That's what it is. It's a 5-to-1 chance to win some money. But hey, if it brings people into crypto, then so be it. Check out the full article. Trump crypto dinner guest describes the worst food ever into speech. So the Trump dinner flopped. According to some people, they said the food was horrible and they were better off eating at McDonald's, and they even called it a Walmart steak and not filet mignon. But you know, what do you expect? You bought a meme coin, you got invested, you got invited to a dinner, and what did you want? I mean, it wasn't going to be this elaborate dinner, but I guess some people's expectations are a lot higher than what most people's expectations are. But, you know, if Trump would step back from this, maybe just for a little bit, I think they could get a lot done in Congress, because now they're using Trump's crypto ties to try to slow down the stablecoin bill, try to slow down crypto regulations. If he just took a step back, even until August, I think all of this would get put in place very fast over the coming weeks. But hey, the president's going to do what the president's going to do. Florida proposes law to eliminate capital gains tax on XRP. Should the proposed bill be accepted, then Florida residents will receive an exemption from capital gains tax on any transactions made with Bitcoin, XRP, or stocks. This tax relief will take place at the state level. However, it should be noted that the federal gains tax would be unaffected and therefore would still apply. I like the idea of the states doing this. Maybe they'll get the president moving on, eliminating the capital gains on cryptocurrencies as well. Let's see where this goes from here. I'm sure this will likely get approved. Chinese underground banks are the financial lifeline of organized crime groups worldwide, and they're using crypto as well. So the cartels, for example, reportedly rely on Chinese underground bankers to launder drug proceeds, as seen in Los Angeles-based ring that laundered over $50 million in narcotics revenue via crypto, and trade-based schemes. Similarly, North Korean hackers depend on Chinese over-the-counter brokers to convert stolen digital assets into fiat currency, or commodities evading global sanctions. I just talked about North Korea in that previous video. The symbolic ecosystem thrives on the ability of underground banks to act as a bridge between the cash-heavy criminal underworld and the formal economy. It depends on encrypted communication platforms like WeChat and Telegram, and exploiting regulatory gaps in jurisdictions with weak oversight to ensure that illicit funds remain obscure. This is what they're trying to crack down on. And whenever these politicians talk about crypto being used for illicit activity, they cite examples like this. And most of the time, this is done using Tether or Bitcoin. You never really hear about criminals using XRP. Why is that? Why always Tether and Bitcoin? Sometimes it's Ethereum. I think it's because that's what they know, and they realize that the tie between Bitcoin and USDT, and who knows, maybe even Tether is part of some of this illicit activity as well. We already know Tether was involved in money laundering in the past, but you know how I look at this. They're going to eventually figure this all out, and this will eventually come to an end. Then these criminals will have to revert back to cash to get things done. But, you know, we're XRP holders. The digital age is coming because of things like this. Everything's going to be fully transparent, tracked and traced, anti-money laundering, know your customer. And as that is all happening, we are going to get rich off of our XRP at the same time, but we are getting very close to that. You could see it coming. Now the finish line is in sight, is what I'm telling you. Don't get discouraged now because of price activity with XRP. Don't even look at the price. Ignore it for a couple of weeks. Come back and look at it then, because I'm expecting June to be a decent month for XRP. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.